My talk is about always correct translation for face-to-face communication. This is a joint work with Hans Uskreid and Sven Schmeier, who are also co-founders of Yocoy. Yocoy is a 50th spin-off company of DFKI. We know the problem of understanding is everywhere. For example, as travelers, experts in a foreign country, and if you are vegetarian and you went to China, and how can you tell the restaurant waiters that you don't want any meat in your food? And for multicultural and multilingual society or communities, and almost in every city now, in big cities like Madrid and also in Berlin, how can a German doctor know what a Turkish patient is suffering from? And how can our technology help to solve these problems? And the causes for the understanding problem, we know missing language knowledge, and also missing knowledge about situation, culture, and the domain and the context. This is also very important. And the requirements for technological solutions are, we need for face-to-face communication. If you are travelers, you don't have the chance to do post-editing. You don't have experts who can help you in the real-time situation. We need truly reliable translation. The translations should have semantic adequacy. And the translations should be well-formed in grammar and style and the fluency point. And it should be adequate for the situation, culture, and domain, and the context. Therefore, knowledges about pragmatics and culture and context are important. And also, if you want to ask some questions, you want to get some answers. Therefore, the support of two-way communication, the interactivity, and is very important. Only one-way translation cannot really solve your problem. And also, the translation should be always available when you are tourists in China or in somewhere else. If you don't have roaming, and you still need, sometimes in these cases, in the emergency cases, you need real help. Therefore, the mobile applications and services should be mobile and also can work offline. Sometimes you don't want to pay too much when you are in foreign countries. And also, it should be easy to use. And a lot of requirements for us. And if you look at current solutions, and we have two extreme solutions. One is we know the old-fashioned, traditional phrase books. Many people still use it because they are reliable. You have the most relevant, frequent used hundreds of phrases you need in a foreign country. For example, looking for a toilet. You cannot do it in Chinese with your hands and smiling. And we know with the statistical machine translation progresses, we have a really big coverage statistical machine translation system like provided by Bing and Google. A big coverage, fully covered. You can put everything inside. Even you can sing a song and they give you some results. But whether the people can understand and help you is another question. But as a tourist and some expert in the foreign country, you need help. You want the right solution. And Yocoy is working on in order to bridge the gaps. And of course, we are at the very beginning. If we know the solution, actually, we will not have workshop perhaps talk about other things. And in the first releases of our first products of Yocoy language guides, we provide solutions which can ensure always correct translation for tens of millions of phrases in different situations. And in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we are releasing new mobile applications for billions of phrases covering relevant situations for tourists in the foreign countries. And but we are not happy with the current solutions. We are working on future solutions which help us to find to get the ambitious achieve the ambitious goal, we have very good translation and very good coverage and almost full coverage. And we are working on it. I will show at first the current solution. And the always correct translation is actually the always correct transformation, always correct mapping. Language technology can transform English text into German text, while machine translation, while translation. And English speech into German speech translation. And Spanish text into Spanish speech, TTS. Different signals and content in different forms. And all these technologies, we are always happy with some speech recognition results, and we know most of them work very nicely, but work with limited coverage. And all of them make many mistakes when the language gets bigger and the environment getting complicated. And the existing Yocoy solutions for face-to-face communication, and we started with very careful solutions because we want to provide end-user solutions, not problems. And we started with well-designed template-based translation and with situation-based dialogue. With the help of situation, you have the context for disambiguation. And with offline speech output, because our first users are foreigners visiting China, they don't want to pay too much money for their staying in China. And furthermore, we know when we travel in the foreign country, if we communicate with people, the language and the information interacted always together. Therefore, we integrate in communication and information. We provide language guides, travel guides, culture guides. And for the current products, we cover iPhone, iOS, and Android. Now we have always correct translation for 5 languages and covering all the directions among these 5 languages: Chinese, English, French, German, and Spanish. Yesterday I tested our app with Spanish driver, a taxi driver. He was very happy. I think he became one of our friends. And if you look at this is the Yocoy language guide app will come in the next few weeks. And we have, you see now this is the Spanish to English, English to Spanish. And we have the relevant situations for on the way, personal, you can do small talks, even do flirt with Spanish people, and also shopping and in the restaurant. And if you speak English, and it will be translated into Spanish, and also talk in Spanish. The Spanish people can give you answer. You can have a kind of dialogues. And how did the user interface for template-based translation look like? We provide this kind of temp phrases with slots. You can fill the number, and you can put glass. How many glasses of water with gas, without gas, and then it will be translated into German, in this case into German, and the German people give some answer. Then you can do dialogues with German if you as English Spanish visitors in Berlin. And now I just simplified the software architecture of our template-based translation. We have databases of phrase templates, and these are transfer between languages. And our linguistic knowledge is able to generate from these templates to the source language and target languages. And we have dictionaries which are situation-based, and the transfer rules which are also situation-based. All the transfer rules are embedded in dialogue context. And this is, you know, sometimes pictures can tell you more than words. we allow also integrate pictures into our phrases. In this case, if you want to enjoy this delicious Japanese dessert, you can make a picture and take it with you when you visit within Japanese restaurants or Chinese restaurants. And you get the exact one which you want to have. And with our solutions, you can speak your language, and you can get answers in your language everywhere in the world. This is Spanish, and you can also, as Chinese, you can get Chinese answers everywhere. And the current solution are still manually constructed. We have a big database of transfer rules and big dictionaries which are situation driven. And now we have been conducting research on automatic learning of template-based translation rules. This approach is inspired by the information extraction community, which I have been done research for many, many years. We did minimally supervised and distance supervised learning approach, and we started with some examples of semantic relations available from the users or from big database like Freebase somewhere else. And then we learn monolingual rules from this big data corpus and link them together with some special clustering technologies. And the advantage is that we don't need parallel corpora. We only need to collect monolingual corpora, and there's no annotation needed. Of course, we need sometimes minimal, sometimes large amount of domain knowledge in order to get the semantic relations and instances. And in the near future, we will have a combination of template-based translation with sub-language-driven machine translation, and we are working on also situation-based speech input, speech recognition, which can also help us to improve the accuracy. And in the context of we see the direction the roaming costs will be reduced in the near future. We will provide also combine the offline solution with the online solution with multilingual web services of all our applications and functions. Thank you.
Thank you very much.